This is the next episode of Question and Answer for Quora, me and Rishi. So the next
question is, why are most of the countries interested in doing business in China? That is one of those beautiful questions that, can I start?
Sure.
So I would say, why are countries interested in China? Let's just start with the simple fact. China has money. People in China have money. It's one of those fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia.
Second economy and soon to be first economy.
Soon to be first economy on GDP. But in terms of spending power, it beats USA
of course.
By a huge margin. It's the number one in terms of spending power.
Sure.
So that's why Chinese people have money, and guess what? They like to spend the money. They like to splurge on discretionary
They like
spending.
bling bling.
Exactly, they like bling bling. So you'll see people in China buying Porsches. They'll see people
everywhere.
in China everywhere.
Like buying
Rolexes,
mansions in Australia.
They'll buy property.
Canada.
They'll buy whatever is possible, as whatever money can buy. So definitely, a lot of countries like Bentley, for example, has 60% of its sales just from two cities in China, Beijing and Shanghai. 60% of its global sales come from only two cities in China. So this is why those global players, they understand the market, they know where the next growth is, and that's why a lot of businesses are willing to relocate a portion of their business into this country.
Exactly, and another point I'd like to add is the population. Okay, population is no secret. Of course, China has the biggest population, but still, every city of China has the same population, probably equal to your country.
Exactly.
For example, Shanghai alone, it's got how many? More than 30 million?
No, they say around that, 28, 29 official. But if you count all the suburbs of Shanghai,
like all of them are potential customers.
Nearly 40 million. I have a Shanghainese friend and he said, oh, we're close to 40. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, official figures are something else, but if you count all the suburbs, which the metro, you can access by metro, you're talking through close to 40 million people.
Exactly.
That's 40 million people is like more population than most of the countries.
So the chances of becoming successful here are much more higher than in your country, probably. Like in your country, the population is widespread, and then the number is quite low, right? So if you manage to sell to Chinese customers, you are the winner. Okay?
Exactly.
You're in the winner's side.
Also, Chinese people like to talk. They like to advertise themselves. So let's say you sell a certain product, it becomes popular. Those people like to talk to their friends and family, and suddenly you're expanding from 1 to 10 to 20.
Yeah, by the way, before coming here to this meeting, I read an article on WeChat, by the way, to read articles on WeChat, you have to enable that moments section.
Exactly.
So I read an article about an Australian couple who started a wine business in China, who entered actually, they started wine business back in Australia. They were quite successful. Were selling already, but they recently entered Chinese market literally last year. So what happened is they collaborated with the calls, social media influencers, local Shanghai call. Then in one day, they sold 189,000 bottles. In one day, on their entering day, they sold this many bottles of wine. Now, can you imagine how you can be successful by collaborating with these calls?
Exactly.
Social media influencers here are a huge players.
If you want to enter the market, that's the best way to enter the market. Social media influencers, and they are the best way.
And for a startup company, that's a huge number.
Exactly.
Close to 200,000 bottles a day.
Just per day. That's a lot of.
Yeah, probably they sold many more after that, but it was a successful.
Chinese people like to try new things. So if you are entering the market with a certain product and they haven't seen it before, they're like, "Wowza, this is amazing."
Exactly.
They want that.
Exactly. So all right, this is it for today, right? This is it for this question. We will be continuing question and answer. Make sure to watch the next video.
And once again, if you have any questions, please do drop down in the comment section below.
All right, see you guys.